Food insecurity is the limited or uncertain availability of nutritionally adequate and safe foods, or the limited or uncertain ability to acquire acceptable foods in a socially acceptable way, or when the eating patterns are disrupted. A household cannot obtain adequate food because they do not have sufficient money or other resources. Food security for a household means that all members always have access to enough food for an active, healthy lifestyle. That's the definition according to the USDA in 2018. Food security is a critical issue for Native Alaskans in the village of Emmonak, as with other remote communities. The people of Emmonak rely heavily on seasonal and subsistence hunting and fishing to meet their nutritional needs. However, their dependence on natural resources make their food supply susceptible to environmental changes, such as a shifting of fish migration patterns, seasonal weather variations, and increasing impacts that we can see from climate change. These factors can significantly impact the availability of fish, game, and other wild resources, highlighting the urgent need for sustainable solutions to address food insecurity.
Hello, HSEM 461. My name is Amira Turner. I like to be called Mickey. My preferred pronouns are she, her. I am the youngest of four from Francis and Edward McKnight. I was born and raised in Buffalo, New York until my enlistment with the United States Army. After medical retirement, I remained in Killeen outside of Fort Cavazos until I felt adventurous enough to move to Fairbanks to explore in September of 2019. I decided to stay or was forced by COVID. I have resided in this lovely town ever since. I understand how important food security is to our daily existence. However, it may not be on the scale of this or any village. Still, urban neighborhoods can experience food insecurity with not having a grocery store or place to purchase fresh foods at an affordable price. Finding affordable foods in an urban food desert, especially fruits and vegetables, is difficult.
Emmonak is a unique community nestled near the mouth of the Yukon River. The Alaska Native community, often described as a city and a fishing village, stands out as its population of 825 as of 2020, having only 343 households and 221 housing units. Yupik people first arrived in what would become the American shores of western Alaska about 3,000 years ago. First settling in on the coast, the Yupik began migrating up the coastal waterways like the Yukon. Emmonak is one of the last permanent settlements along the river before it empties into the Bering Sea. Emmonak first appeared and was incorporated into U.S. Census in 1964. Most Yupik people are part of the prominent family of indigenous people known as Alaska Natives. There are five significant groupings of Alaska Natives, including the Aleuts, the Inupiaq, Yupik, Athabascans, and Southeast Coastal Indigenous people, Tlingit, and Haida. Emmonak falls within the transitional climate zone characterized by tundra interspersed with boreal forests and weather patterns of long, cold winters and short, warm summers. Emmonak has a rich culture and connection to land and water, with a history stretching back millennia. Many residents are involved in commercial fishing, processing, and subsistence activities such as hunting and fishing. The median income for a household in the city was about $32,917, and the median income for a family is about $38,750. The per capita income for this town is $9,000 approximately. That's meaning about 16.4% and 16.2% of the population there are living below the poverty line, compared to the median household income in Fairbanks of 2023 to be estimated at $75,354, with the average median income being $66,820. Emmonak. Its location is just 10 miles from the Bering Sea and near the Yukon River mouth. It exposes it to fisheries, climate change, and coastal erosion impacts. This native Alaskan village, about 400 air miles northwest of Anchorage, is acceptable only by air or the river. Emmonak's remaining on the river is a testament to the resilience of his people. The community, primarily comprised of 90% Yupik Eskimo, strongly relies on seasonal subsistence lifestyle, harvesting fish, seals, waterfowl, and moose. Most of the community travels to fish camps in the summer to dry salmon for winter use. The people of Emmonak are hardworking and highly skilled despite the challenges posed by their remote location, and limited access.
There isn't much available about the village specifically, but there's plenty of information on the Yupik people who live there. This community caught my interest because of Emmonak's remote location on the map. It is located next to a village named Aluknuk, which means wrong way in Yupik. Essential goods like food and fuel are bought in by air or barge. After all, no road connections exist between these remote communities. It has limited access to grocery stores and high prices for imported foods, making it difficult to rely on store-bought goods as a supplement. Traditional subsistence practices are essential for physical sustenance and cultural and community well-being, as they reinforce long-standing traditions and community bonds. Addressing food security for Native Alaskans in Emmonak involves supporting the sustainable management of natural resources, ensuring the policies consider the needs of subsistence hunters and anglers, and possibly developing local programs to enhance food resilience in the face of climate and ecological challenges. People who experience food insecurity often consume a nutrient-poor diet, which contributes to the development of obesity, heart disease, hypertension, diabetes, and other chronic diseases. Other researchers say food security is a process, not a state condition. As such, a wide variety of contemporary and historical socioeconomic and socio-ecological factors must be scrutinized when assessing food security, beginning with local incomes and food prices. Fazzino and Loring, 2009. Food insecurity now affects both urban areas and rural or remote villages. This issue is closely tied to health security as each influences the other. My Native community has suffered the consequences of political neglect, which has significantly impacted the well-being of its members. An unstable environment due to coastal erosion threatens personal security, which may lead to the loss or relocation of entire villages. This situation, compounded by economic hardships, further exacerbates health and food security challenges. The effects of climate change are forced upon the people and their land, effects that are worsened by modernization and a state government that has historically ignored the environmental impact of its actions on indigenous communities. A.J. Reed, 2012.
There are three critical solutions for addressing food insecurity in the Native Alaskan community of Emmonak. First, supporting sustainable subsistence practices and ensuring that policies are in place that support sustainable hunting and fishing are not just choices but responsibilities. This approach can help protect the availability of essential resources such as managing fish stocks to prevent overfishing, allowing for seasonal harvests that align with the natural cycles, and setting government regulations to favor local subsistence needs over commercial exploitation. By implementing these solutions, we can ensure a more secure and sustainable future for the Emmonak community. Also, community-based food programs need to be established. Government-level local food group programs such as community gardens and greenhouses can provide Native Alaskans with consistent access to fresh foods. In places with harsh climates, greenhouse technologies and hydroponic systems can help grow fresh produce year-round. On a personal level, meat sharing programs in which hunters distribute game and other foods among the many households also strengthens the community bonds and reduces food scarcity. Thirdly, from a business perspective, food distribution and affordability enhancing infrastructure. This can reduce the cost of transporting goods and foods into the rural areas and provide subsidies for essential foods items that can make store bought items more affordable. Programs that facilitate bulk ordering, cooperative buying, and partnerships with local suppliers can help lower the prices of staple foods, as this applies to the current community. Food security is a well researched topic, particularly in urban areas where poverty and homeless rates are high. Despite having five grocery stores within the city, many residents have challenges, especially those in underserved neighborhoods. Fairbanks is a hub for the many remote villages, and they are more likely to conduct their shopping in the city where the prices can be considered high compared to the lower 48. The personal impact of living in Fairbanks is that the prices of quality meats, goods, and produce is expensive. The local food banks offer fresh produce donated by local grocery stores such as Walmart, Fred Meyer's, and Safeway. Fairbanks faces significant food accessibility challenges. Traveling more than 3 miles to reach a grocery store can create a food desert situation, limiting access to fresh and affordable foods, especially for those without reliable transportation. In rural Alaska, access to fresh produce and essential supplies can be even more limited given the high transportation costs, seasonal roads, and air limitations.
Donations from grocery stores can be powerful ways to address immediate needs, particularly of food insecure families. By redistributing surplus foods, these stores help reduce waste while ensuring more people have access to fresh and nutritious options. Downtown Cushman or Ninth Avenue to Walmart on Johansson is approximately 2 miles. A trip to the store can be impossible without reliable transportation or funds. So even though residents may have federal funds like EBT or SNAP, they are forced to shop at the nearby Circle K Gas Mart and pay as much as $6 for a can of stew, priced at $1.50 less at Walmart. Walmart and Safeway on Airport Road are 5 miles apart, and food prices can differ by up to $1.75 per item. Food insecurity is occurring right under our noses, and its effects have yet to be detrimental enough to request a change like that of a remote village that lacks the infrastructure to shop freely.
In conclusion, the village of Emmonak is facing an imminent threat of relocation or potential disappearance due to its geographical location and the impacts of coastal erosion. The Alaska natives of this village are victims of climate change, which has led to coastal degradation, an environmental issue that contributes to flooding. Emmonak is grappling with a critical existential challenge as its location makes it increasingly vulnerable to these threats. The residents of Emmonak are deeply affected by this crisis, which has accelerated erosion and altered weather patterns. These changes have intensified and made seasonal flooding more severe and unpredictable. As a result, the community's physical safety is at risk, along with its ability to maintain their traditional way of life, which relies heavily on subsistence, hunting, and fishing. To adapt to these challenges, the community needs to implement strategies to improve infrastructure and develop policies that safeguard their traditions. Without immediate intervention, the residents may once again be forced to consider relocation, a move that entails significant cultural, social, and economic consequences. It is critical to provide urgent support to protect and empower these communities as they confront the increasing pressures of global climate change.